The words he spoke over the city that will soon welcome him with hosannas and call for his death days later, friends, are not just words for Jerusalem. For you see, they're words for us too. How often I desired to gather you, Jesus says, but in your fear, you stubborn, scared chicks have assembled an arsenal of weapons instead, trading my care for your money and your security cameras and your guns and your isolation and your security. How often I have desired to gather you, Jesus says, but in your patriotism, you have confused the kingdom of God with the kingdom of these United States, and I'm not clear where your loyalties lie. How often I have desired to gather you, Jesus says, but in your hunger for status and power, you have sold out your witness by letting the Herods of this world into your henhouse and are now somehow surprised by your destruction. How often I have desired to gather you, Jesus says, but in your stubborn pride and unchecked greed, you think you have no need for my protection. Because in your world, you're at the top of the pecking order. And you think you've got this thing called life figured out. How often I desired to gather you, Jesus says, but in your relentless striving, you have fooled yourself into thinking that you have no need of me, that your achievements are yours alone, that you must not be drawn away from the path toward greatness you have begun, that your hustle matters more than my healing. How often I desired to gather you, Jesus says, but in your despair and in your exhaustion, you're not even sure you have the strength to be pulled toward my refuge. How often I desired to gather your children together, Jesus says, but you didn't want to be together with your neighbors, together with those who look like you or vote like you or pray like you or live like you. You do not want to belong to one another. How often we have desired to be gathered to you, Jesus, we say in our most honest voices, for rest beneath and within, tucked our raw, exposed patches, nestled in the soft and warm embrace of our mother hen, vulnerability against vulnerability. But we do not do the good that we want. Instead, the evil we do not want is the evil we do.